Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be discussing with you about my uh I would be discussing with y'all that why is it important to get get an offer letter during an internship of yours, and how do you get an offer letter? Now, I'll tell you the incident what happened with me, and we'll take that thing and move forward. Now, back then, it was the first year of my college, and it was the first internship, the second internship I was doing. And this time, the internship was for 4 to 6 months. Now, I remember that I was very good at my work during the second month itself. So, while I was doing my second month itself, there were a couple of good things just buzzing around about me, like all the positive things I could hear about me, right, from the HR to my HOD to my manager. So back then I exactly remember the place where this incident had occurred. So it was, I think, if I'm not wrong, it had to be either a, I think it was a Sunday or a Tuesday. I'm not sure about the particular date and the day, but I remember that it was a weekday, and it was like around 10 o'clock, from 10, between 10 to 11, or between 9 to 10. This was the time frame. I was doing my work, and my HOD comes up to me, and he goes like, we would like to offer you an offer letter as to work with us as an employee for 6 months or 1 year. And I was first shocked. The first thing I did was I just looked at my manager. I was like, okay, what is this? Like, I just between the eye contact itself, it was like I was asking him, what is this? Then my HOD spoke. So back then, my HOD again looked at me and he said that, we we would like, he told me this, and then he said this sentence that we would be paying you X amount, and he said that we would be also, like, as you're pursuing your degree and you will have your classes in colleges, so based on that, you will get your, you can change your working hours. You can then take your, when you have your exams and all, you can accordingly take your PHs, or you could take your uh, day offs accordingly. Now, this thing was like a big thing for me. I was on the cloud 7. I was like, I need to tell this to somebody. So anything which ever happens with me during my internship, at least at that point of time, I have to go and talk to someone, because it's like that anxiety thing has to like get off from me for that moment. So I think that time I just told one of my friend, he was over there only working with me. So I just like called him up. We met at the cafeteria, and I was like, this is happening. And he's like, okay, that's great. I'm like, what do I do now? He's like, just go work first. We'll talk about this later. It's like, fine. Now this thing happened, and I was like, so after that, my HOD, like, he was obviously waiting for my answer, and I didn't know what to do. I was lost. So back then, what one mistake I did was I spoke to spoke about this to my other colleagues who were, like, working since a year or two, and all of them had their own opinion. Some were like, go for it. Some was like, no, don't go for it. I was like, okay, I am dead confused. I don't know what to do. Then finally, I called up my two good friends at that time. I was like, I need to talk to you all, something really important. They are like, what? I met them and I was like, this is the thing, what should I do? My friends, okay, they were very clear. At that point of time, they were very much clear that in future, whatever happens, if you take up this thing, okay, if you take up this job right now, okay, whatever happens XYZ, at that time you're not going to blame anyone for that. He told me that that you're working with this particular hotel, this organization for the past, I think there was this came to me for in the fourth month, yeah. So during the 4 months, so he told me very clearly that you're working with them since 4 months. You know exactly how things are getting up with you. And I was like, okay, again, I was still confused. Because from them, it was like one thing was straight from my friends that whatever you do, you're not going to regret on this. They're like, make sure you are not having any regrets on that. Now, this is actually a very big statement, having any regrets at that point of time. Having regrets later on. Now, back then again, things went up. Okay, one fine day I was like, I need to talk to my parents. I went up to them and I told them. My parents had their few XYZ points. I had my few XYZ points. Eventually, at that point of time, I was like, it's way too early to do anything. Let's just say or no for it and let's like not give them any reply. Like he would have understood. He understood also after some point of time because they waited quite a long. So yeah. Now this happened. I was done with my internship. Again, when I met my HOD during the final clearance time, he told me, or whenever you need my help, you can just contact me. Either you want to work somewhere, let me know. Even if it's in this hotel, whatever best available it is, I'll definitely let you know. I was like, yeah, fair enough. Things got good. Things were really normal after that. Now, this thing, why am I talking this about is that I have seen it is very with less people who get the opportunity of getting an offer letter. Now, it's not like not everyone working in any hotel would get, or if I'm getting, not necessary that a person with me on the same grade as same intern or whatever it is also gets. No. This thing will always differ. Now, why is this thing different? Why is that I got and my other friends in the same hotel did not get? The couple of things. I always had an enthusiasm or an excitement to know new things. Now, back then when it was during my second or the third month, and I was like, I need to learn micros. That's it. I had this thing that I see everyone using micros, okay. There were times like during when it is we didn't have lunch buffet and we have a la carte. Now even to punch, like what they would tell me is that, Aziz, you just write like their room number, the guest room number, and then write whatever they've ordered, and then you call up the kitchen and tell them to make that. So whenever we come, we do the micros and we send the KOT to them. I was like, why to do this? Why don't I take up the initiative to go and learn from them? So one fine day, I went to my senior and I was like, I need to learn micros. She's like, okay, fine, I'll teach you. Then she taught me how to use micros. Then I still remember there were a couple of orders I had even punched that time. So, she told me that how do you check, guest details in micros, and, how do you punch an a la carte order, how do you punch a breakfast, how do you punch a lunch buffet, whatsoever it is. She taught me. I was like happy. This again, what does it show in the organization point of view? That he is having an interest to learn. Again, try to always have conversations with your HODs or your restaurant managers. Why? This is something again will help you in future, because once you have a good communication between you and your manager or your HOD, you tend to learn a lot of things from them. Okay, they tend to teach you more things what you might not read in books or you might not learn from someone else. Like, one thing my manager, I still remember, he would tell me everything, new things about food. Like, someday we'll talk about fishes, someday you talk about seafood, someday you would talk about how Indian cuisines are made. Now, while he would tell me, I would like literally have my full thing in the conversation. My full focus was, okay, what is he telling me? Probably I would imply that also. Suppose he's talking with me like about, let's say, interaction with guest. Okay, now if he's telling me that always smile in front of the guest, always show that happiness on your face, that show them that when the guest arrive, you are excited, you are happy, you are going to give them the best service, show it to them. He told me once, it got stuck in my head. After that day, whenever I would see any guest, okay, I'm not saying only in my restaurant, anywhere in the hotel, whether it's in the main lobby or whether it's in a cafe or whether it's in the pool or wherever they are, I would give them a smile and I would make sure that even if they didn't have any query, or even if they had, they would come and approach me. These small little things are what the management sees as an intern. Another thing I'll tell you guys, taking up responsibilities. Now, this thing I just had an conversation with one of my ex colleagues. Like, when I was doing my internship currently, I was speaking to one of my to my restaurant captain, and I was telling him the same thing. I was like, in right now in our F&B service, I was in the kitchen at that time. I said that in our F&B service, you are having 2 interns. Okay. Sorry. Apart from that, again 2 new interns have joined. Why don't you throw responsibilities on them? See, when I say throwing responsibilities, it means that you give them the responsibilities in such a way that they don't feel that you're making them do some extra work. Rather, they feel that no, this is something where I'm learning, this is something what I'm gaining knowledge from. With me, it used to happen the same thing. They would always send me to uh, store pickup. Now, though the store pickup is something any other staff can do, but why me? Because they knew very well that Aziz will take care of sure that whatever is mentioned in the list, he gets it that way only. Because my store guy, he used to like give us few things extra, or sometimes he would not give us things. So if someone else would go, they would do this goof up and cup. But when it was with me, I would make sure it's clearly there. I would literally read and I would see, okay, if this item is there or no. So try to again take up responsibilities. Even if they are not giving you, you proactively go and tell them that, okay, you know what, I will handle this, let him handle something else, or I'll do X, Y and Z, let that someone else do. Now I'll tell you one basic thing. Every restaurant has, or every hotel has roster on the particular department, right? Now we also had a roster, but in our roster it was they would like put allocations. Okay, that one would be the hostess desk, and then remaining 3 people will be in section 1, section 2, section 3. So 3 people would be there, one at the back area and one would handle the buffet. Now my manager was pretty sure that he had confidence that I can handle. I was good at my clearance and table clearance and everything. So what he would do, he would put me for handling the buffet. Now, handling buffet means what? Like whatever the service people have to put for the buffet. So he would put me that. Now, when he would put me in that, I knew that looking after the buffet is just like a 1 minute or a 2 minute job, and even refilling that is also max 5 minutes job. So what do I do the other time? I can't just stand there. What would I do? I would help the other guy in his section. I would go at the back area and I would help the person who's at the back area. I would help the person who is at the hostess desk if he or she wants to go for a washroom break or whatever, or wants to go for breakfast also. I would tell her, okay, you go, I'll stand at the desk, I will manage it. This is how you take up responsibilities. Again, these things is what your managers, your HODs are looking for from you. Not always your managers or your HODs only, or your captain for that matter, has to come and give you duties. You yourself go and do your duties. Again, I want to tell this point very clear, that while you're working, don't let anyone have a negative comment on you, that oh, he or she doesn't know how to work properly, oh, he's so clumsy, he doesn't know how to work. No, why should you have this negative impact? Why? Show them. People, if they tell you once, second time, give them back on their face and then tell them that, oh, I think last time you had told me regarding this flaw of fault in mine, but then see, I think I've improved in that. Try to show them back on their face that, you told me, I am now doing it more in a more better way. If someone tells you, okay, wipe the glass with, just normally wipe the glass with the wiping cloth once they are washed. Now, this is that person just told you do it this way. Now, you will say that no. Why I should follow this person? Rather, I will find a better way to wipe the glasses is I will put them in hot water, get them the steam, and then wipe it properly so that the glasses are clean. So, I think these are the few little things what we need to, be more conscious or be more careful about. Same way, wiping the tables. I remember telling a lot of when I was in this internship, I was back and then telling people at the service that, you guys don't know how to wipe tables. Honestly, they didn't know how to wipe tables. So, the moment you tell them, they feel offended. The next thing I see, it's the same thing. Nothing is affecting them. They are still the same. They'll still wipe the table the same way, how much ever I show them. Even if I wipe and show them how to do it, they'll still not follow that way. Because they have this thinking that, array, it is going on now from so many years, let it go like that only. Why? Get the change. If you show that change or you show something new to the organization, that's when they will appreciate it. That's when there are high chances you to get not only job in that particular hotel or wherever else you get, because when you're applying for an organization, when you go for an interview, and when the interviewer will call your ex hotel, they should give a good feedback from you. They should be like, no, he's way better than what we expected, he proved himself during the internship. That's how you gain good positivity or good comments, good comments from your ex hotels where you've previously worked. So yeah, I think that's the end of today's video. It's been 19 minutes, I guess, more than 19 minutes. So that's it. So I think this is one thing which I wanted to discuss from a very long time. And I was even having these conversations with many of my other colleagues as well. So I hope you guys like this video. Please put up the like button and do follow me on my Instagram. I'm putting up pictures these days on what I cook. In case you find anything interesting or any recipes you want from them, do let me know. I would love to share my recipes with you all. So do like this video, comment and share, and do follow me on Instagram. Take care. Bye bye.